what I want to do first is kind of cover the fundamentals of crafting your offer. And this is going to be useful for everyone here, including myself, because even as I build my thing and, you know, have a little more experience than you guys, I still go back to thinking about, is my offer good enough? Or how can I make it better? And no matter how far you get, you can always make your offer better, right? So that's why like learning the fundamentals is pretty important, because they never really change, right? It's just human nature. So we're going to use this trusty formula, which I did not invent. Alex Hormozi invented it, but it just works so well. And a lot of people teach this idea as well. And I've realized it's really all the same, you know? When you're starting out, really, most people sacrifice. Okay. So most people who are starting out, they're going to have a problem with the desired outcome. Okay. So we don't even have to worry about all these things yet if you don't like provide clear value in terms of like what people want. Okay. So for Venetia's example, right? Basically Venetia, she's trying to create an offer where she's going to help sales teams make more money by optimizing their sales. How are we going to optimize it? We're going to run all the calls and stuff, maybe the DMs through AI to figure out how to make the reps better, essentially, right? And if you're curious why Venetia is kind of leaning on that idea, is because she already did that for her previous company where she worked at, right? And so this is a clear need people have. She worked at a pretty big airline before. So chances are there's a lot of other businesses that need the exact same thing, right? Sometimes the easiest business is what you did at your job. And okay, so Venetia, right? As we kind of think about your offer, let's say you're talking to a company, let's say it's a small, medium business. They got 5 closers on their team, right? If you were to talk to the founder of this company and you're thinking about, okay, I want to provide value, what's the desired outcome? What are you selling? Venetia, you there?
Sorry, I was muted.
Yeah, no worries.
I would be selling. Sorry, it sounds weird to say selling, because the way I've been putting it in my head is like, I help small businesses basically fill revenue gaps, either.
Now make it simpler. Like, what are we selling?
What are we selling?
No jargon. I don't want to hear no technical this or that. What are we selling?
I was thinking about this. The only thing I could come up with is I help small businesses make more money.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. So,
okay.
All right, like this is where most people get it wrong, you know, especially if they're like new to entrepreneurship. They make it very complicated and they talk about what they do, right? It's like, oh, I run all your stuff through AI and I'm going to, you know, look at your analytics. People actually don't care about that. What they care about is the outcome. You see, desired outcome. It's not desired process. Okay. Nobody cares how the food is made in the kitchen. They care how it looks and they care how it tastes. So if you're helping sales teams, whatever it is you're doing, you're making them money. Right? So if somebody asks you like, hey, like, what do you do? If I were you, I would say like, hey, basically I help your sales team close more so you make more money. Oh, that's interesting, Patrick. How do you do that? Well, I take all your calls, run it through AI and find ways to improve. And then I coach your team on how to improve based on that data. Amazing, right? It's that simple. So when you're selling someone on the phone or when you're, you know, creating content to try to get someone to book a call with you, that's what you should be communicating, right? If you say like, oh yeah, you know, what we do is we da 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 da. No, nobody's going to book a call because it's not what they want. Okay. So if you're looking at this value formula, right, it's like the numerator needs to keep increasing. The denominator needs to keep decreasing, right? So that's, you know, a bigger number on top, smaller number on the bottom. Okay. So this is the main thing that I would say most people have wrong. And that's pretty much your offer, right? Now, to even sharpen this, let's go a little deeper, okay? How do you figure out what you should tell the person on a call, right? Basically, you're going to say, hey, this is my offer. I'm going to do this, 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 and this, okay? But how do you decide what these things are? It's actually pretty simple. All you need to do is take their problems, okay? Like you talk to them on the phone, right? Discovery phase, meaning you just ask them questions, and then you just list out their problem. Problem number 1, number 2, number 3, okay? Usually they'll have like 3 main ones, maybe they have 5. It really depends on the sale. So for a sales team, right, Venetia, what do you think their main problems are? Like top of your head, three big problems.
Not being able to handle objections.
Okay.
No confidence in their pitch, or a bad pitch, like a bad script.
Okay.
My brain is not fully turned on today.
It's okay. It's okay.
And like lack of motivation to sell.
Okay. I would add one more. The don't know why they suck. I think that might be a pretty big one, right? And these are things you would uncover based on your experience or somebody tells you, right? So, because I'm in sales and I used to be a sales rep, so I kind of know this. One of the biggest problems I see with new salespeople is they don't know why they're not doing good. There's nobody like listening to their calls, giving them rapid feedback. They'll do like 50 cold calls in a row. And then at the end of the day, they won't book any meetings. And then they think they have to grind the next day and do it again, right? And then they eventually quit. So the hardest part is the feedback cycle. And a lot of these more traditional companies, they have no method to record the calls and run it through AI. They're not even thinking about AI, to be honest, right? They're not even recording the calls. So is that an opportunity for you to help them? Probably, depending on the company. If it's like more old school, right? Like think about like a small, medium business, like service, you know, like, I don't know, like what would be like a random, like local business that would be doing this? I don't know, like someone that builds, you know, construction or something, right? Like build something in your backyard and it'll cost like $50K. They probably don't have any like AI anything. So if you came to them and you're like, hey, like how many salespeople you have? Oh, we got 5. What's your close rate? It's low. Okay, like I think I can help you, you know? And then, oh, like, how can you help me? Well, do your salespeople know why they're not closing enough? Oh, no, I just don't have enough time to like look at every call and right? It's just like excuse after excuse. So you talk to the person, you get all the pains, you know, you list them out. Okay. Every call, you kind of know what the pains are going to be. And then once you do like 10 calls, you realize everyone have the same problem. Once you do 100 calls, you like really verify everybody has the same problems. And you kind of go in knowing that you're going to hit these main pain points. And then, you know, once in a while, there'll be like a random one that you never heard of. And then you just take these things and you reverse it into a solution, right? So let's say if this was the main one, for example, you would say like, oh, okay, based on my offer, the first thing is going to be the, I'm going to, you know, record all calls, run through AI, and then figure out like, you know, what's the problem, right? Figure out what's the problem. Okay. That's work in itself. Number 2 is, you know, like even if we have the problem, like I don't have time to coach them. Okay, I'm going to coach your sales team to, and then like whatever, you know, increase my revenue, handle the objections better, like whatever it is, right? So essentially when you're doing B2B, you can just make up your offer, list it as like 1, 2, 3, and you know, just feed it to them. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't have to be something super structured. It will just feel like, oh, like this person made a custom solution for me, you know, and it's worth the pricing of like $5,000, right? Because if you're selling money, if one guy closes one extra deal, how much is that worth? Right? If like they're selling something that costs $50K, well, one extra deal is literally $50,000. So like if you're charging $5K to help them out, isn't it worth it? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like that alone will make your offer feel like it's a no-brainer. You know? Yeah, especially for these industries where it's just like there's no one really like doing this kind of stuff. It's just so easy. So we have a client, Brandon. So you might have seen him on my YouTube channel. So I kind of share with you like what he does, and then you kind of see like how obvious it can be. So basically, Brandon here, and I made a whole video about it on this one right here. So he helps construction companies, okay? And all he does is coaches them on how to make content on like video content on LinkedIn. And he's not the greatest content creator in the world, but he found a niche where there's not much competition. So he charges like 2 or 3K a month, just helping them out with content. They film everything. He either edits it or just coaches them. And he can charge 2 to 3K a month easily because one deal to one of his ideal clients is, they'll make like, it could be like 10 to 50K plus for one deal. So if he helped them get one client, it's a positive ROI, no brainer, right? So even without even like looking at all these things, just like understanding what people want and the pricing, just you're basically selling free money, it's very easy to get people to buy, right? For this part at least, because that's what you're doing. For most of us here, we're selling free money in a way. Does that make sense, Venetia?
Yeah, the more I think about it, or as I'm going through this in my head, I'm like, why wouldn't people want this? I just keep saying that, and then I'm like, think about it, or as I'm going through this. Sorry, and I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, no worries. So,
and then I'm gonna have to figure out those. I know there's gonna be objections to it, but it's just like in my head, I can't even think why.
Well, okay, I'll tell you why, because I already have an idea. It's going to be other elements, right? Because like value is, the top divided by the bottom, right? So let's go to the next point. If you go to a small business owner and they say like, okay, I get it. You're going to make me free money and we're going to close like one deal and it's going to pay for you. Okay. But how, like, is it going to work? How do I, like, if I, spend all this time and hire you, like, how do I know we're going to actually get results? You see, that's where your objections will come. So you can counter those objections by just hitting all these on the sales call before the objection even arrives, right? So if you said something like on the call, like, hey, I helped this company in the past do literally the exact same thing, and here are the results. Right. So like you would just use like what you did at your job, right? So if you helped a sales team increase whatever by 30%, and you worked at a pretty big company, right? So like even an increase in 1% is a lot of money, right? It would make them feel like, oh wow, it works, and you did it for one of the biggest airlines in America. I trust you. You see? So you automatically like kind of counter that using your previous experience, right? So you don't say, oh, I never done it before for another business on my own. Like, don't say that, okay? Even though it's true. Just be like, yeah, I've done it for this company, and now I'm doing it for you. You see? Like, you're telling the truth, but you're not like, you don't have to share every single detail,
What if I don't really have access to, like, the exact numbers of those, because that was kind of above my pay grade.
Yeah, ballpark it. Like, what is like, based on your information that you have, like, what do you think? So I could say, hey, like, I can't give you the exact numbers, right? Because obviously, might be confidential, but I can say roughly around da.
Would it be feasible to, like, in this portion, because I keep having that word bouncing around, the perceived value, which like comes from, I guess, the overall value. But the likelihood of success, would it be feasible for me to do something like a demo with their own numbers in the presentation, or is that like doing too much?
It's too much. Just, okay. You just got them to say yes. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, if I was selling it, I just need them to believe that I will be like, I'll do good at this job. I don't need to do like a demo or anything. I can explain how it works on the call. Yeah, that's fine. But like that's very different from like a free trial. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, whatever you need to say to make them feel confident that you're going to get the result that you're promising. That, I mean, that's all it is. Okay.
Okay.
And usually that just comes from like proof of what you've done in the past. That's the easiest way to do it, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true.
Okay. So time delay, pretty self-explanatory. How long until they get results? So if you can say like, hey, we estimate like after 30 days of me taking your data and coaching your people, like we can expect some kind of lift in your sales. Okay. Now, are you guaranteeing you can do it? Depends how you want to do your offer, right? Like some people say like, hey, like you don't pay unless we get you this result. Some people do that. Some people just don't guarantee anything at all, you know? So it depends on your sales style and what you're willing to offer.
I was thinking until I get a little bit more confident, I would just do the like maybe like 10% or you don't pay, whatever. If you don't make any.
I mean, I have to think about like in your situation, what's the best move? A lot of times I don't even mention a guarantee until they bring it up or they feel hesitant about moving forward. So sometimes I'll pitch the whole thing and I just won't say a guarantee. Like they have no idea if I will give the money back or not, or sometimes they don't even think about it. You know, they're just like, yeah, I'm going to do it. You know, like when can we get started? And then I just move forward. Right.
But do you always give a time frame at least, or not always?
I give a rough range of like what people can expect. So let's say, most people that work with me, they want to get to 10K a month, right? So realistically, can someone get to 10K per month in like 90 days? They could, but it's not easy, and I can't promise that they're going to 100% get there because it's a combination of me coaching them plus they have to do the work, but I can just share like examples of other people similar to them of what they accomplished in, let's say 30, 60, 90 days, so it's not like I'm guaranteeing, right? But I'm just like giving examples that are close to them, Yeah, but so
what's possible.
Yeah, but it depends on your sale, right? Some people, they will do a hard guarantee and they'll say like, you pay first, and if you do all the things we tell you and it still doesn't work, then we give you your money back. Some people do that, and they'll make it really hard to get your money back. They'll be like, oh, you got to send 100 DMs a day, and you got to make a piece of content every single day. If you do that for 6 months and it doesn't work, I'll give you your money back. But it's like, who's going to do that? You know what I mean? They're just going to like disappear and not say anything. So, yeah, I mean, some people get into lawsuits about that kind of stuff and how they guarantee. But yeah, I mean, that's like going like really deep into that. But yeah, I mean, like if you just want to be like fair and just be like, hey, like if you don't make any money, then don't pay me. That's okay, right? But sometimes you want to get paid for your work regardless of the end result. So it depends. Like let's say I pay someone to do a YouTube script for me, right? If the YouTube video doesn't do well, the guy still had to pay the copywriter to write the script. You see, so I'm paying for an end product. And I'm not really paying for results, although I want results, but they can't guarantee, Mm-hmm. So it's all a negotiation, really. And you just have to sit down and think, like, what are you okay with doing? Yeah. And I guess the less confident you are in your sale, the more you have to promise or guarantee. So, that also comes into it. And then effort sacrifice, just how much work they have to do in order for this to happen. So if you said like, if you told the CEO like, hey, like you don't have to do anything, I'm going to come in, I'll set up all the back end, whatever. I'm going to take all the calls. Once you give me the okay, I'm going to coach your team. You literally have to do nothing, then that makes it feel like, oh, okay, like this person's going to make me money. I don't have to do anything. Okay. Yeah. That's not too bad. They could do it in 30 days. Okay, cool. All right. They can make me money and they've done it before. Okay. Then yeah, it kind of makes sense. You see how that works?
Yeah, and that would be like kind of what you were saying before, like a once a month coaching, as long as they're like paying a subscription.
Yeah, well, depends how you. I mean, like it's all. like you can just make it up, right? So the easiest way to understand if something works is you find a relevant example of someone doing it already, right? So the guy I gave you, what's his name?
Luke Alexander.
Right? Yeah, Luke. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for him, he's not really doing the coaching side. He's creating the software, right? So you can't really copy what he does because he's selling the subscription to the software. Okay, it's very different. You would take the role of using his software or someone's software and applying it into a business. Okay, and should you create your own software? Not in the beginning, because it takes too much resources and time to figure it out. Not saying you can't, but you would rather just use someone else's and just prove that you can even do the job first. Then if it works and you want to sell,
my issues, like trying to figure out whose software to use.
I mean, just, go on Google or ChatGPT and just say, hey, which one is the best and why?
Yeah. I don't trust ChatGPT.
Yeah, I mean,
ChatGPT's been telling me some off the wall stuff lately.
Okay. Yeah, but you just got to know the industry a little bit and try. Try it, right? If you try their software, feed a couple sales calls in there or mock sales calls, you'll know pretty fast.
Yeah.
Okay. So just run it. But yeah, I would not recommend creating your own like AI whatever until you at least sign one person for your services. Yeah, just one at least. So don't spend time creating something that no one's going to buy. That's my main thing.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's something I'm definitely like interested in way down in the future, but for now I just want to get up and running. So
yeah, you just need clients in the beginning, and then once you have a clear understanding of what they really want, perhaps you can build a tool for them, or perhaps you could be like, you know what, I don't want to build anything. I'd rather use someone else's software and get paid affiliate. Right? Because like if you do affiliate, maybe you're taking like 30% or something, right? So do you need to build your own software? Do you want to build your own software, or do you want to make content? It's different. These are different games, right? Yeah. But yeah, I lean on the side of just signing clients first. Get some money in first, and then figure out how you want to be fancy later. Yeah, but without your first 5 clients, none of that matters at all. Right. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much how you would start. And there's more advanced techniques like selling with urgency, getting people to buy on a certain day. Like, hey, I'm going to give you 20% discount if you sign by this day, that kind of stuff. But I would say it's a little too advanced right now. What we need to do is get the call and just like pitch the desired outcome to see if people want it or not. Like all this stuff is cool. It helps. It will increase your closing ratio or closing rate 100%. But if you don't have this down, none of it matters, right? Because if you're not, and this is the problem like most people have when they're creating offers, it's like they'll come up with something out of thin air and they'll be like, oh, I think people want this thing, right? But in reality, nobody wants it. So no matter what guarantee you have or how fast you can get the result, if people don't even want it to begin with, it doesn't matter, right? It's like 0 multiplied by 100 divided by 100 divided by 100 is still 0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Whereas if you make it super easy and instant, like think about like I think Jaden has like a pretty interesting offer where he's basically selling basically you just copy what the signals do, and it's like trading stuff, right? Just copy the data, when to buy, when to sell. So like if you made it so that, like, imagine this. Imagine you told someone like, hey, buy this thing and you're going to triple your money in 10 seconds. So that's like infinite value, right? You just like press a button and make money. Like those kind of things, like it's easy to get people to buy because the time delay is like so small that the value just becomes crazy.
Yeah, that's actually the exact company I was in, the signal copying.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it was it like the networking marketing stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had their own platforms that they built out.
Right. Signals. Yeah, but yeah.
We've all been there.
Yeah. Oh, haven't we? Yeah, I did it twice.
But yeah, mine actually worked though. I used to do IM, so
Dude, that's hilarious. But yeah, any questions on this? Like, is that making sense?
Yes, I think I was just stuck on like I didn't know if I could just Google a software to use because I was like, what if there's something better? Or I didn't know if like you knew something that was kind of something that was tripping me up too.
I think the software doesn't really matter, to be honest. Just use whatever's industry leading. Right. So if it's Kendo, which is the one Luke created, maybe it's that. Like there's a lot nowadays. There's like Cluely as well. It basically does the same thing. There's like probably like 20 different companies doing the exact same thing, and they all use the same like models and stuff. So
yeah, that's why I was like, I don't know, they all look the same.
Yeah, I don't think it matters because when you sell a business owner, are they going to care if you use Kendo or Cluely or this or that? No. And then softwares go out of style. This one goes out of business and use another one. It doesn't matter. The tools doesn't matter. It's just your ability to coach the salespeople to make money. How you do it, nobody cares as long as it's fast and easy. Okay, that's the key. The how is not as important as you think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the mindset I gotta stay in while I'm going through all this because I'm a data analyst, so I like the how. So I have to like keep pulling myself out of that. Like, don't get in that rabbit hole.
End result. It's all it is people have problems, pain, and then they want pleasure. That's all there is to it. No matter what level you're selling, CEO, VP, founder, middle managers, they all want the same thing. They want to escape pain. They want to get closer to pleasure. Whatever you need to say to make them feel that, that's what you tell them. You don't need to over-explain. You don't under-explain. You just say, hey, like, where do you want to go? What's your problem? Why can't you do it by yourself? Oh my God, that sucks. I have a solution that'll get you to where you want to go. This is the price. Do you want to do it? Yes or no? Done. It's really that simple. No matter what you're selling, it's just a human psychology thing. Yeah, and I would also say like in content, it's pretty similar for educational videos, because like when you're teaching something, people actually don't care about what you're teaching unless there's some kind of like emotional pain they're experiencing that they're trying to get away from. Right? So if you look at my videos, right? I recently just closed somebody who watched this video. Okay. So she's like, oh, I'm going to start a personal brand, but I don't know what to post. And so that's why I found this video because, it's like, don't start a personal brand, do this instead. It's like, oh, I shouldn't start a personal brand. Then what should I do? And literally it was this. Yeah. It was this video that got her to click, get her on the call. She told me she watched this video. I asked her why. And then she told me she had a problem. She just totally lost. And then, I was like, okay, so like just think about it. Like, what's your problem? Okay, let's get you to where you want to go. You want to make content. You want a clear direction. You want a roadmap. All right, I got that. And she just joined, right? Like, so like on that call too. So what I'm saying is not only applicable to your sales calls, but very applicable to your content, right? So like if you're, let's say, selling signals, right? And what's the biggest pain people have when it comes to signals? Oh, I tried it before and it didn't work. I tried this other guy. He said that, and I just lost money. And then they told me that I had to recruit other people.
They sure did.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's funny because it's true, right? It's funny because it's true. So when you make that kind of video for, someone that's super skeptical, it's gonna hit because they experience that pain, and you're relating to them, and you're saying like, hey, I understood, like you got burnt in the past, but here's why my thing is so different, right? So if you frame a video like that, the person watching, they care a lot more because you like pointed out that pain. If you just said, imagine you started a video and just said like, here's my signaling, whatever is the best. they're gonna be like, well, you're just like everybody else. I mean, you're probably just bullshitting, right? But then if you come with the pain first, then they kind of feel like, oh wow, like this guy understands me, you know? Like people relate to pain. You know, like anytime, like it's like, you know, when I don't know, misery loves company kind of thing, right? So like so when people are in pain, they like to be around other people in pain. If you experience something like, what's a good example? I don't know. What would be a good example of this? I don't know. I can't think of one right now, but you guys get what I'm saying, right?
Journeys? I don't know.
What's that?
Weight loss journeys?
Weight loss journeys? Possibly. Yeah. Yeah, I guess like people struggle with weight loss. Yeah, go ahead.
The content portion for mine, I have been also kind of reeling over because initially I was excited to make a little bit more analytical content because I feel like people would find that fascinating, maybe not necessarily something to buy. But in terms of having regular content to produce, would I be coming at this from the angle of most people, this is how most people improve sales teams, but this is how I do it type thing? Or
I mean, I have to do a little more research into this niche.
I did not find a lot on it on YouTube, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, that was really relevant.
Yeah, I get you. There's probably not that much.
Bit of a gap, yeah.
I mean, maybe that's the opportunity, right? I need to dig a little deeper to like find out. But I mean, you see, like, there's a lot of sales videos, right? I mean, like, you could probably just do like how to, you know, increase your closing rate with AI. You know, like that probably would work. So like, you just need to think about what people already want and just add an AI spin to it. So like, if I did, you know, from 0 to your first three clients in 30 days, AI makes it fast. Like, it just works because I added the AI element to it. Right? There are other people who already made this video, but not many people had an AI spin. And all I did was use chat to help me write my emails, you know, and use like different AI tools. So I know for a fact that there are a lot of people looking for content on how to improve their sales. And I think if you help them improve their sales with AI, that probably would work just from a positioning perspective. But I would need to like dive a little deeper into that to like know for sure. But you kind of get what I'm saying.
And I'm not quite at the content part yet either, so
yeah.
as like put out.
But it's just just think of it like, what's the pain and how do you solve it? That's like the easiest content to make, right? So the pain is like people suck at their calls. Yeah, just like teach them how to improve it like a sales coach. You know, so I mean, I've made a lot of videos like how to do a discovery call, you know, how to like basically just like sales techniques, how to do your cold calls. And I would just teach people like how to do it pretty much, right? But then now if I were doing it, I would just add an AI spin. Be like, okay, like you're doing your call, I showed you how to do it, but like how to use AI to actually make this 10 times faster. And then you kind of give your solution. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you just need to find examples, right? And then just add your spin to it. Yeah. And you just think about like, if you're selling to a business, if you're trying to do B2B, what would they want to see in content where they would want to book a call with you? All right. So if I was a business owner and I had 5 sales like closers, right, I would want to watch a video on how this girl can show me why my sales team is not good, why they're not effective. How do I train them better without putting in much effort? And what's the fastest way for me to like get that closing percent from 20 to 40%? You know, then you make content around that problem that they have, you see?
Yeah, that's why initially in the message I sent you, like, I thought it was like a nice little, like, you know, how you did like the dark secrets or whatever.
Dark psychology. Yeah.
Psychology, yeah. I was thinking kind of that angle a little bit with like, what's your data really saying about your employees thing, or like, why are your employees like really struggling with sales? and like let's ask AI, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, you got to work on the packaging of that. You know, it's got to be more cleaner. Because the dark psychology videos I made, they're more. I mean, it works because I saw the trend of everyone was talking about like, oh, like how to grow a following with a cult and how evil food companies make you like poison you and make you addicted to food. So I saw a lot of that. And then I just applied it into the sales niche of like, oh, what's the dark secret to like selling, right? So it works because it's the packaging, you know? Like it's just that like people are just like, they like that dark vibe. Will it work now? Probably not as well, you know? Probably not as well because it's kind of got played out. Yeah, I made the same video like, 5 times, the same video like 5 times. And other people have also, used that concept as well. So you have to know where the puck is going, right? So maybe that's not the way to go right now. You got to find like the new thing. I think the AI spin is the new thing, really, like anything AI, basically.
Yeah, buzzwords.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just a novel concept of running your transcript through ChatGPT. Like not a lot of people are doing that, actually.
Which is crazy. In my head, I'm like, why aren't people doing that?
Yeah, like in this video here, what was it? This personal brand one. All I did was run the Ikigai exercise through ChatGPT. I mean, that's really what the video is about. And it's like 200,000 views, right? So, when you're early, you don't have to be as good. You're just early. So there's not much competition. There's demand. So you got to like spot those trends and like just when they come, just jump on it and then like just milk it until like the wheels fall off.
Yeah, this is one I definitely don't want to miss in terms of like how AI is evolving. So
yeah, dude, anything AI is just you're trading with AI.
That's what I was doing. Their company literally had the name AI in it. Yeah, and they had an AI bot that would analyze your trades.
Right.
That's crazy.
I mean, yeah, it works.